Good afternoon, I guess. It is GBS here with another trading video for the day, Tuesday, June 9th. As always, we're going to talk about our market analysis, picks I put yesterday, and what picks I will propose for today. I guess you probably can't act on the picks by the time the video comes out, but who cares? I'm just doing it. So, first things first with the market, our long-term bias hasn't changed, and our short-term bias has been nice and bullish after yesterday. Today we gapped down to AVWAP-Q, managed to rally up, filled in the gap here and got a pretty strong rejection, and then some choppiness in the second half of the day. A little bit bearish in the second half, but nothing you would be able to short. So still bullish in the short term, not superly bullish because we couldn't put in that new high of the day and close above it. But I like how we filled in this gap. The price action was steady. Volume was okay-ish, kind of low for most of the day. So I do believe that support is probably in for the week. I would be surprised if we retest this tomorrow. We also have the CPI coming out on Thursday and bank earnings coming out later in the week. So those will have some bid coming into the market over here. So I'm still bullish. And let's go over the positions I took yesterday. So the first one over here was crowd. So that was my pick of the day. You can see really nice gap up. Tested this high plus trend line. That's actually where I took profits. Pretty much around here, like 273-ish. Pretty much around here is where I took profits. So really, really nice winner. That was actually a 1.5 ATR winner. So beautiful, beautiful winner. Next pick that I had was AMGN. Nice move yesterday. Today was kind of just digesting some of the gains after that really big rally. So not overly worried about it. I have time until earnings. And you can see my target here. I guess. Okay. I guess this is drawn quite badly. So let me redraw that. Kind of this high plus trend line over here. But yeah, something about a $5 move up would be pretty nice, I think. And you see it's not like going to stack a bunch of gains here. So I was like, hey, if it goes up and it hits this line, then I'm going to take it. If not, then you know what? I will leave it be. So let's cancel that order right now. So Amgen's still doing pretty well. You got to hold that in. Some picks I had from prior stocks. So first one here that I took profit on was Abbott. Hit my mark at 113. So I actually took profits on over somewhere here. So I actually managed to pick a top, which was kind of crazy. At least a top for the day. I still could go higher, but hit my target. I was like, look, I got the trade I want. And not gonna push it. Really, really nice move, $12 move in the stock. So really happy with those gains. Second one I took profit on was GM. Took it pretty much at this price over here, around 350, 360-ish. And that was simply because we had a nice push here, and it just keeps rejecting off this trend line. It could break the compression over here at a half-size move, but, what I was thinking is I don't need to wait for this to break out, right, and be stuck in this position. If I had a bigger size, it'd just be eating up my buying power. So let me take the win here and just move on to something else. So that's what I did. Other things that I closed today was NVIDIA. You can see it has a bit of a retracement over here, which is causing some of the sell-off that we're seeing in the market, some profit taking. But took it yesterday at about right here, 514, 515. And then I exited here at about 533. and it was right around the time when the bullish cycle on SPY was ending. So I was like, hey, I hit my profit target. I got nice gains. I don't know if we'll sell off again. It's a bit overextended on the M5, so let me take some profits here. Ended up going up again, another good dose, all the way hitting a high of 453. But I was like, I'm fine with the profits I have on this trade. Again, more than a 1 ATR move that I got. So super happy with that. Pretty good day. 2 trades I put on today. First off, Airbnb. I put on an Airbnb put credit spread expiring on the 2nd over here. You'll see the 131.130 for 21 cents. And I chose that for a couple of reasons. So we had in B1 LRSI cross. You can see that the stock had drifted down, rejecting off this trend line, but bounced off support here at AVWAP-Q and the 100 SMA and started rising up before SPY started to rise up, right? This is SPY on January 3rd, January 4th, January 5th. So it's trickling down and kind of stagnating. Airbnb is actually starting to rise up. Today, it tested the 8 EMA, held some of its gains. Wasn't the strongest today relative to the market, but I like the strength on the D1. So I was able to take that trade there, and it expires before earnings, which is very important. I'm also in an NVIDIA put credit spread as well, by the way, expiring on the 9th. All right, second one I took was Google. So I took it right on this bullish cross here that broke through this compression at the high of the day. Google was grinding up all day, so took it somewhere here at 142.68, and you can see it's held up really well relative to the market. Some really nice relative strength. Entered at a half position. If the market was able to close above its prior day high, I would probably enter in a full position. But, I don't like to chase the high of the day as much. I did wait for this compression break, so it wasn't like a super chasey move, but I really like to enter off these pullbacks. So ideally, I would also add here, and then my average cost would be something like 142.40 and have a nice position. But the stock is kind of doing what I want it to do generally. It's holding up pretty well. Market is not doing quite what I want it to do. So no add for the trade. If things look good tomorrow, then I can add to it. And I'm targeting, probably like 266. Excuse me. I can probably get a 1 ATR move here. We're not super overextended from the 8 EMA. It's a choppy stock. And once it kind of makes this new relative high somewhere over here, right, somewhere like so I'm at 142.60, right? So ideally 145.60 would be pretty high, but somewhere like 145-ish is what I'd be looking at over here, right? We have this high, and you can connect it to even this trend line, which I will draw here, and that will be my target for the trade. Like I said, right around 145. So should be a nice $2 I think I can get on this stock. Those are only 2 trades that I put on today. I'm still in AMD from yesterday. AMD is doing pretty well. It broke through that gap resistance and has held up really nicely relative to its sector as well as SPY. GS over here. GS has kind of been waffling around. And you can see it's just been in this super long compression before earnings. I don't know if we're going to break it, so I'm probably going to take profits on this next move up given the shorter time horizon. Kind of is a little bit more market dependent. If we do get some sort of market push up, then I'm interested in, sticking with GS a little bit longer, but it has to come soon. The nice thing is I am in shares, so I have until next Tuesday for me to profit. So I do have some time on this, but it is something I'm kind of watching. And my sense is that this could be a trade where I kind of take that initial move of like 390 is what I was looking at, but just looks like there's a couple of trend lines coming into play from here that the stock doesn't quite have the volume to rub against because of earnings. And then finally, I have my SPY long-term swing, which I guess I don't need a separate chart for that. So might as well just, which I entered here, run 460 as we broke through this. Nice move there. And then I added here at 471 when we got our LRSI cross and we broke through that prior day's high. So what I waited for was nice bullish move, bearish cycle over here, and I entered on this bullish cross. So I kind of had this zoom in approach where I got this LRSI cross yesterday. All right, so I'm like, nice. So now I'm looking in to get into the market, and then on a shorter term time frame, I want this level. I want this to not be fluff, right? So that way I don't get faked out on this LRSI cross. So when I get this bullish divergence and this additional source of confirmation added to the trade, and it was just a really, really nice day of steady grinding on the stock. We had a gap down today, and I wasn't super worried. Grinded up higher, so I'm still up in the position. I got to add about halfway to my target. My target's around 480, which is the all-time high. So I got in around 460, one add at around 471, and then get in at 480. So I like that move on SPY. Let's find a good stock that I would recommend to go long here. So I wouldn't personally go long because we are not above the prior day's high. So I like to make sure the market's above the prior day's high. But if I did have to pick a stock, there's a couple here that have caught my eye. The first one here is Dash. You can see tested this horizontal resistance here. We also had the 50 SMA come up over here, AVWebQ, AEMA. Nice breakout, bullish flag. Pretty choppy stock, and it doesn't always have continuation. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So you kind of have to be wary of that. We also have a D1 LRSI cross, and then it did hold the gains really nicely today, and then it took off into close. So I'd probably, I was thinking about taking the stock, but I just didn't like this downward sloping trend line on it. I felt it kind of potentially handicapped some of the profit potential. So that's why I didn't take Dash, but Dash was really, really great. Airbnb and Google I highlighted, so obviously the ones I highlight are the ones that I tend to take. Other ones that were traded in the chat. Let's see what was called out over here. SRPT was a pretty big one. So let's check this out. Yeah, SRPT has a really nice move. Now you have to be careful on these stocks for two reasons. One, there's a JPM healthcare conference going out today. And then two, it is a biotech stock, which is very newsy. So it's highly likely that there was some news-driven move today. And here's a news-driven move. We got basically there's a full grant approval for one of their gene therapy products. And that happened at 11:30 a.m. So let's see what happened at 11:30 a.m. Right, there's a news pop right here. There might have been some buyers pre-hand who probably knew some of that, and that's fine. We can't stop all of them. And then broke up nice, steady grind higher. So you can see basically all the qualities we like in a trade. There is, if I can get this crosshair off, okay. Technical breakout, heavy volume, right at this downward sloping trend line. It may provide some resistance, but because something like that's so news driven like this, you kind of have to weight some of the different TAs differently. You had a really couple of nice entry points here. I like this LRSI cross entry point at 12:45. I don't know. Yeah, that does line up with the market actually really well. So that's probably one that I would take. And on this compression break over here, and probably an HA reversal. So if we just zoom in a tad over here, yeah, probably this 12:55 to 1 candle. This is a really nice day trading entry. Obviously, it looks good in hindsight, but I'm just looking at if you didn't have the indicators, right? And this is all you had to go off of. LRSI cross, volume is ramping in here, low volume compression above the VWAP for the day. You get a nice HA reversal candle. Now this candle's a little bit higher, right? So you start to break out of this compression. That's a great entry point. All right. So still have to owe you guys a pick. So I'm trying to see what's coming up on the scanners today. There's a couple ones. CCJ had some nice uranium news. Shop was a nice trade. I think people took earlier today. Still looks pretty good on the D1. But if I had to pick a stock that I think will go up higher, Dallas also, not Dallas. I'm thinking Dallas. Delta is really nice, but has earnings coming up fairly soon. So I ended up not taking that one. It's tough. There's not a ton that I feel very confident on today. Cost is one I liked quite a bit. I like this bullish flag. It held the gains today really well. We broke up nicely to the upside. I'm going to go with cost. And here's why I like cost. So obviously, strong earnings reaction here, making this new high. I didn't like this deep retracement off that. I think some of that was a little bit market driven. There was some fluff and some weakness in retail. But it tested this level here, the earnings breakout. It held that level. And then it gapped up on the 5th. And I think that's the key tell for me, because from Jan 4th to the 5th, the market was flat and didn't do anything. Costco gapped up and it held all the gains to the gap. And now it's starting to grind higher. Preserve this level below all these major resistance and down through this downward sloping trend line, forming a bull flag. So we broke through this downward sloping trend line and we have plenty of room to the upside. I believe I don't really see any resistance until this level here is 690, which is a moving target. So give it a couple days. You're looking something like 694, 695. It's probably a great place to take profits. So cost would be my pick of the day. If I had to go long, I wouldn't go short. Don't go short. But cost is my pick long of the day. So that is it. Tomorrow we're going to review how cost is doing, how Amgen is doing, and we'll see how the market does. And we'll catch you guys in the next video.